So what? Like, bring us behind the scenes of what Finn Balor, that when he turns into the Demon. Like, what? Bring us back there. Teach us about that.
When Finn Balor turns into the Demon, that's the question, right? But honestly, I'm just a fan of art. I'm a fan of like expressionism. I'm a fan of like changing things on the fly. I'm a fan of like just kind of going with the flow and being in the moment. And that's really what the Demon is for me. It just kind of helps me kind of channel kind of maybe an inner darker side. A lot of people accuse me of being kind of too like nonchalant or not too like laid back and too like introverted. And,
I get the same thing, dude. I get the same thing.
Demon just definitely helps me like bring a different side of my personality out a lot better.
Yeah, I get the same thing. People say I'm an introvert, and they say that I'm laid back. I get that all the time, dude. It's unbelievable. We have a lot in common. No, I love it, man. When you I can't remember what show it was. One of your early shows with NXT, when you came over to WWE and you came out with the Demon gimmick and the music and the whole thing and throwing your hands up. I'm like, oh, look at brother. You got to be kidding me. This guy is over. Oh, my God. I wanted to go back in time. I want to wrestle this guy because I don't have to do nothing, and I'll have heat. It's great. You know how the boys think. So speaking of the boys, so like you've had the opportunity to wrestle so many, strong talents all over the world, but not just that. Now with NXT, and then with Kevin Owens, and now like a Samoa Joe on the 16th in London, that's got to push you too. That because it's not just yourself. As there's so much good talent on an NXT roster, and the pressure's on you guys. But like when you wrestled Owens and stuff, bring us behind the scenes of that. What was that like? I'm sure your drive was there because you guys brought it. It was it was snug. It was aggressive. Yeah.
I've had a lot of matches, and the match with Kevin Owens really is one of probably like the highest points of my career, just for so many reasons.
Yeah.
Obviously, the history in Japan, having been there, that building. I went to my first New Japan show there. I had my last New Japan match there. Then, to make that move, uncertain move to NXT, arrive in NXT with Kevin Owens, kind of go through the same kind of struggles with adapting to everything together over the year, and then within a year return back to Sumo Arena, Tokyo, to face someone who became very close friends with, Kevin Owens, for the NXT title on a WWE network special. It was kind of a very full circle moment, and to be in there with someone who I consider an absolute genius in the ring, a genius on the microphone, genius in the ring.
Yep.
The way he looks at the business is very different than most people, and to be in there and share that moment with him was a real honor for me.
Yeah, man. I watched the match, loved it. I thought it was awesome. You guys have definitely an amazing chemistry. And segue into your match on the 16th against Joe in London, Samoa Joe. There's a chemistry there with you guys. Now, listen, Samoa Joe, him and I have a long history. He's a good friend of mine. I could help you if you want with some inside tips on how to beat this guy. I'm just telling you. So you might not need my help, though.
I'm grateful for the offer, but I don't think I need any inside tips to help on beating Samoa Joe.
Are you sure? Because I can help you, Finn. I'm telling you. No, I know you don't need any help. I'm teasing you. I'm looking forward to you guys going at it for sure. I mean, you guys were a hell of a team. You won the Dusty Rhodes Classic and then he turned on you, that rotten son of a gun. But it's great stuff, man. I mean, I'm really what you're doing in NXT in your career. I mean. I appreciate and respect the fact that you're happy where you are in your career, and you should be, because you're the head of a real legitimate movement right now in NXT, and what all the guys and girls on that roster doing, and Triple H at the helm. I mean, seriously, it's great stuff, and keep that chip, bro. You guys got to have that chip. That's key, man. That's motivation.
Yeah, absolutely. A lot of people are always focused on what's coming next and trying to get on to the next thing, but I'm very much living in the moment here at NXT, and I'm happy to be flying the flag as NXT champion.
Yeah, you're the hood ornament, brother. You're the champion, so you're the man, and that's great stuff, right? Yeah, so now look, Survivor Series, I'm assuming you watched it, you saw it, I did too. So now, shocking moment, right? One of your countrymen, Sheamus, I'm sure you got to be a little happy, an Irishman. He's the new champion.
Yeah, Yeah, I just perked up there a little bit. I gotta say, I was watching it on when I seen Sheamus coming out. I always have a bit of a soft spot for a fellow Irishman. So yeah, fair play to him.
That's cool. I said to I don't know if it was a caller earlier in the show before you get on. I was actually a fan from Ireland actually called, and we were talking, and I was teasing him. He said, "Oh wow, Finn is the NXT champion and Sheamus is WWE champion." I go, "Yeah, I guess it's pretty convenient that a guy named McMahon, an Irishman, owns the company." You know what I mean? That's pretty convenient, right?
Finn being the NXT champion and Sheamus being the WWE heavyweight champion, and Finn beat Sheamus 6 times on the UK tour last week.
Wow!
So, where does that leave me?
Oh boy! Look at Finn. I heard you a little competitive. I guess you are. Wow. Hey! So much of that BS that you're a laid back guy. Give me a break. You just showed your hand, brother. That's funny though, man. No, I tell you, it's been an honor just to have you on and talk to you. And I said it, dude. And it's no lie. My show, I'm not huge into like tons of guests a lot, but you're a guy that I've always wanted to have on the show. My audience wanted to hear from you and hear your story and just hear you talk a little bit. And I'm thankful to the WWE for setting this up and for you coming on and getting up early and jumping on the show, man. I really appreciate it.
Guys, I'm honored, and it was an absolute pleasure.
All right, man, and you could follow Finn at WWE Balor B. You're a guy, as I said, with a plethora of experience, so you're probably, I'm assuming you're a leader in that locker room, and guys, the younger guys probably come to you for some advice. That probably would be a layup and no-brainer. But also, I think you're right, and again, I'm not there, you are, and you're the champ, but the team, the camaraderie and the team feel, and I think a lot of that is because you guys probably have a chip on your shoulder that there is this scuttlebutt of the main roster and, when they're going to get to Raw and all this stuff. And I can tell you, as a former guy who wrestled for a little movement called ECW back in the day, when you have a chip on your shoulder, you can do amazing things, and you guys work like you got a chip on your shoulder. And also, I think that the company has you guys traveling as a unit. When you guys go on the road, correct me if I'm wrong, you guys have like a team bus and stuff like that?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah,
that builds team, right? That builds that camaraderie.
Oh, absolutely. We're on the same flight together, group flight. We're picked up at the airport by a coach. We travel together. Get changed together, work together, same hotel together. Yeah, it's not like there's no kind of segregation at all. It's one team unit.
And you look, man. Like I said, it's well documented how much you've been how much you've worked in other places you've worked. Brother, you've been to places where you show up to the building, you drive with one guy or drive by yourself, you get done working, and see you tomorrow at the building. You don't see that guy ever again until the next day, right? Different now.
Yeah, absolutely. But I've been around and I've seen places that are cool. Like there's places in the UK that are on fire right now, like Progress Wrestling. Yeah. Yep. There's ICW, which is on fire. There's, New Japan was on fire when I was there. Yep. But there's just a different feel in NXT, and it feels it's very raw, it's very organic, and it is kind of that chip on our shoulder kind of deal. I don't want to say that in a bad way, but it's like everyone has something to prove, and we're all trying to prove it together. There's no kind of like individuals. Everyone's trying to outdo each other, but we're doing it as a team.
Well, and it's transparent, and you see that. And I'm telling you, man. I've worked for the WWE for a long time, and know Vince McMahon and Triple H and Stephanie McMahon. And I can tell you, I'm pretty sure that those 3 people I just named are happy about that competitive drive amongst the whole NXT roster, because that's what they want. That makes the matches better. That makes the talent hungry. That makes the main roster, I hate to use that term, that makes the guys or girls on Raw or SmackDown work harder, because you have an NXT talent breathing down your throat. And I think that's a good thing. I think that's a good thing. That builds that drive. You know what I mean? So make sense, dude. Like, for those who don't know, and I know you've explained it before in the past, or people might know, your inspiration behind like the whole demon character, the face paint. I know you've worked as a Joker before, Punisher, Venom, all this stuff. Kind of, some fans, my fans, want to know like if you're a big fan of comic books and stuff. I'm not too familiar with it, so pardon my ignorance on that. But